Kevin, welcome, well done, well
Thank you.
done.
You guys are far too kind in the intro. I don't know about legend at all, but I have been around for 25 years.
Come on, you can't. No one can ever really say that about themselves, but I can say it about you. And Jay and Silent Bob reboot in cinemas from tomorrow. Original movie, Clerks, 94.
94.
Okay, great story. If you do, first of all, let's tell people who don't know, because it's we can all preach to the converted, but let's.
Heavens, yes.
Who are Jay and Silent Bob? Where did they come from?
I layered them in all the movies. So they started in Clerks. I brought them back in Mallrats. I brought them back again in Chasing Amy. They were minor characters in Dogma, this movie I made. Then, of course, they had their own movie, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and then they were bit parts in Clerks too. So they've kind of been like my Rosencrantz and Guildenstern for my whole life. Like not Hamlet, not the main character, but the guys kind of to the side, the Greek chorus, or the geek chorus, if you will, always commenting on the action. Usually giving the hero the piece of advice they need at the right time, or in the case of this movie, they get given a piece of advice at the right time by a character that Ben Affleck played in Chasing Amy, Holden McNeil, who comes back in this movie. Because we sequelize, not only is Jay and Silent Bob Reboot a sequel to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, I figured like I had this heart attack a few years ago and almost died. So I was like, well, I could die again at any moment. So let me try to put everything I can into this movie. So this movie sequelizes Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back at the same time.
James, Manchester band. You're a big fan of Manchester.
I am. I was just talking about it before. Last time I was out here, which was only a couple months ago after we wrapped the movie, and we wrapped the movie I think in April or something. I think maybe in May I came to England with my friend Ralph Garman. We did a tour of our podcast, Hollywood Babylon. So one of the shows we had was in Manchester, and we had a day down between two shows. And so I had a day to just walk around Manchester, and honestly, like one of my favorite days of my life. Like you can't even figure out what it is. Like I got a falafel wrap that was like pitch perfect that I've been trying to repeat ever since then at other places. I'm a big New Order fan, so I was walking around looking for like New Order merchandise in stores and like that, and you meet people who like could tell you stories about like Bernard was just here, and you're like, what? Like, so it was crazy. I had this wonderful day, and I guess it was about a year after the incident that they had in Manchester, and the city's very Manchester United, very strong, and it was, I don't know, it was just a beautiful place. So coming over here for this trip, a lot of people are like, you coming back to Manchester, but we only had enough time to like do a bunch of London shows.
Okay, but hopefully that will happen.
But
right?
You came from there? You worked there?
Yeah, that's where I started. Yeah, so
and you went to the Hacienda?
Yeah, loved it. Yeah,
I got a bunch of artwork in my house that I bought while I was in Manchester, street art and stuff of the Hacienda, of like the entire history, the timeline of factory records and stuff.
Well, some of the album covers then, and some of the factory design, it was very Banksy, and Banksy is now, but you can see Banksy.
The influence
back then.
there, yeah.
Henry James Wentworth, the first. Just tell Kevin, I don't have a question for him, but I will be at the Prince Charles Theatre at midnight tonight, and he's my hero.
Oh my
so
Lord.
Prince Charles Theatre midnight tonight. I can guess what's happening.
We're having we had a screening last night at the BF5, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Tonight we have 3 screenings at the Prince Charles. The last one being midnight, so the Q&A will be at like 2:30 in the morning.
And it's a Q&A after everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, why go see the movie?
Okay,
the movie you can eventually see on home video or streaming, but like what makes it special is I'm there talking about it.
Big love to Kev the Legend. Discovered Clerks and Mallrats in the mid-90s at uni. Game changing. Now that phrase game changing, game changers, weight loss.
Did you watch the movie?
Of course, we had him in. We had James Wilson last week.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I went vegan after my heart attack, so in February it'll be almost 2 years, and I can absolutely testify to the benefit. I know a lot of people, it's tough to talk about being a vegan because it triggers a lot of people, particularly in America. If you're like, oh, I'm a vegan, they're like, oh, now I'm going to eat 3 times as much meat. And you're like, all right, well, that makes no sense, but see you in hell. So essentially, it's tough to really like bring up without making people angry for some reason. Because like, I guess people feel like, I've lost so much. You took away my cigarettes, you took away my booze, now you're trying to take away my meat and stuff. So I don't proselytize about it because, if people want to talk about it, they ask me about it, and I'll tell them, here's how I did it. I went vegan because I had to. Used to be happy, now I'm vegan. But I did that because I had a heart attack. I had my arteries full of cholesterol, and the doctor the morning after my heart attack in the hospital was like, you're packed with cholesterol, so you might want to think about going plant-based. And my kid had been vegan for like 3 years at that point. And I'd watched her like she embraced it because she loves animals. She doesn't want to harm anything. And I was like, kiddo, it seems like so so difficult. Like, it limits the amount of places you could eat or the amount of things you can eat. And she's like, yeah, but I love animals. So that was her thing. So there she is in the hospital with me after the heart attack. And the nutritionist is like, you might think about going plant-based. And the kid is like, yes, Dad, please. And she's a real first world kid. Nothing bad ever happened to her. So my heart attack is like the worst thing that happened to her and stuff. So she was like, it would mean the world to me. And I said, you know what? I ate any way I wanted for 47 years, wound up here almost dead. So I'll try your way for 6 months. And the kid loves me. I absolutely swear by that. I know that for a fact. But at the same time, she's very strategic as well. So while she was trying to save my life, I know for a fact she was like, if I could flip this meat eater, he's a get for the vegan community. So that's why she leaned into it super hard. And she got what she wanted. I've been out there like doing vegan stuff with her, like doing videos for Farm Sanctuary and cover vegan magazines and stuff. Yeah.
I've just been told you got to go. I didn't know there was a time limit on you having to go.
We can keep going.
Can we keep going?
Go ahead.
Oh, but I don't want to get in trouble with people.
You don't worry about it.
No, but I need more guests for the show tomorrow.
Oh, they'll keep bringing them. They need you more than you need them.
Okay, let's go with that.
Yeah,
okay, in that case, I was going to play a record, but if we are pushed for time, let's just ask a couple more questions.
Done and done.
Okay, where should we go now?
Who are you? What do you just walked in and said nothing?
This is Rachel.
Sorry.
This is
Hi.
Rachel.
It was just and all this stealth into the room.
Yeah,
And
Rachel does the travel. She also reads the news, but she's so much
so
more than that.
travel over here is traffic. That's when you're
Traffic,
like, stay away from Knightsbridge and stuff like that.
People are hovering. Oh no!
Oh, look at them. They're getting mad.
They're lining
Don't worry.
up their
Ask your
sides.
questions. Look at me. Don't look at them,
Okay.
Chris. Focus on me.
So Ben Affleck, you bought his house.
Yeah.
Okay, you bought his house. He's in one of your early movies.
We
You
got
didn't-
like 30 seconds, and that's what you go with? I bought Ben Affleck's
You know,
house?
because I'm interested, because I want to live in Los Angeles.
Done and done.
So
you can come stay with me. I live right near Gromer's
don't
Chinese
think I'm not
Theater.
going to ask you that the second we come off the air.
The Chris Evans Breakfast Show with Sky.